Hello, YouTube and podcast listeners. And oh my god, my fan just started right now, but you know what? We're gonna roll with it. We're back with Behind the Mod Season 3, Episode 1. So we're back. I know it's been a long hiatus, and this time we're bringing you the JurassiCraft team, which includes Geki, Cody, and Toastmaster. So I guess in no particular order, introduce yourselves.
Right, I'm Toastmaster. I'm the leader of the mod, and yeah, I do various things. I do modeling, texturing. I especially sort of the plants and the blocks, that sort of thing, items as well.
And I
Yeah.
guess Cody.
Hello, I'm Cody. I'm co-leader of the mod, head modeler, and I'm in charge of the Twitter of the mod with Gigi, and sometimes I do streams and videos on YouTube and Twitch.
Cool. And Gegi, you're the lead programmer, right?
Yeah, I'm the lead developer, coder, whatever you want to call it, for JurassiCraft, and I've actually been on the team for quite a long time, so I'm quite familiar with it.
Awesome. So yeah, Jurassic Craft, it's been around for a while, though I guess it's technically one of the newer dinosaur mods. Um, and yeah, I guess if whoever wants to, if you can just recount how that project kind of started, because I think it's been not quite a billion years in the making, but close to it, in Minecraft terms.
Well,
Yeah, there we go.
like,
That's the
more like
number.
65 million.
Gotta put in those references.
Spare no expense.
Yeah, how did that project begin?
Yeah. Well, it started off as kind of an offshoot of fossils and archaeology originally. This, of course, this was long before I joined, and long before Cody joined. But but yeah, if for example, the in the old Dropbox that the team used to use back in 2015, some of the folder names kind of referred to the mod as Fossils and Archaeology Jurassic Park Edition. And so yeah, although the mod has of course changed and evolved a lot since then, sort of becoming more detailed in some ways, scrapping some things, adding other things, sort of becoming its own thing, Although it's more, unlike the main difference between it and Fossils and Archaeology is, of course, in the title. It's more closely based around the Jurassic Park series. Mostly the films, although to an extent also the novels and some of the spin-off material, like Jurassic Park the game, for example. And of course the new Jurassic
the Telltale
World film.
game or the Lego game? Okay.
Yeah, the Telltale game. There are, for example, the Herrerasaurus that you see in the 1.7.10 version. That's heavily inspired.
So kind of like
by
the entire Jurassic Park
Telltale
universe. Okay, and I think
much.
the mod started out pretty similar to Fossils and Archaeology, but over time you kind of diversified, and
Yeah.
I think the mod has a decent amount of content now, not just in the dinosaurs, but you also have all these machines in it, right?
Yeah. Yes. The process of getting of going from fossil to living dinosaur. It's sort of there's quite a few steps in it, at least compared to fossils and archaeology. It's not just one or two machines. It's a whole lab's worth full of them. You have the cleaner, the grinder, the DNA extractor, and the DNA sequencer, and so on and so on, until eventually you get to the embryo calcification machine and the incubator and so on. Yeah, there's sort of a lot more steps involved, and it's sort of the result of there was a bit of dispute back in 2015 on how sort of in depth it should be. Some people wanted it to be simpler. Some people wanted it to be really, really detailed. In the end, we sort of went for this as kind of a middle ground, it's complicated in some ways, but not as complicated as some of the people on the team wanted it. But yeah, this is sort of. I mean, we have to
Right.
consider, the players
Yeah, for sure.
in this. Yeah,
Yeah, I think the gameplay mechanics are
yeah.
probably like superior to all the other Dino style mods. Um,
Ah,
I want to
maybe.
get back to like the team for a second. Like, when what order did people like of of you members? How did you join the team? Um, I'm assuming you were all involved in Minecraft, and modding to some extent. How did you join the JurassiCraft team?
Well, I wanted to become a part of originally the fossils and archaeology team, but in the end I was approached by some members of the team. I think it was actually Cash, Cash Money as he calls himself, the original owner of JurassiCraft, who actually approached me. I can't remember exactly how it happened, but basically I was originally hired to make the plant sprites. We add a whole load of extinct plants into the game. Uh, yeah, that's Cody. We'll get to that in a second. Yeah, and okay. Uh, yeah, that's pretty much how I got involved. I'd kind of been posting in some parts of sort of the modding forums, and I was eventually
Huh.
picked up
And so, Cody,
pretty
were
much.
you on the team before that?
I think I joined after Toad. I joined in October 2015. Originally, I was in a JurassiCraft mod. It's another dinosaur mod, and I was recruited by Andreas or Jurassic Alien, the other head modeler, and my role was to make dinosaur models.
So you're kind of the lead artist or the
Yeah,
lead dinosaur artist,
well, we could say that
which is a pretty cool title to have.
with Jurassic Alien.
Yeah. So do you make the models and textures?
Usually yes, but I got a bit bored by textures, so Todd have been helping me with dinosaur textures.
Yeah, yeah. It's sort of a
Yeah,
joint
there's a lot
effort
of
between quite a
collaboration.
lot of us. Basically, yeah. There's a lot of people. There's a decent amount of people, decent number of people who
Contribute?
who
Okay.
make models. So yeah, Andreas does quite a few. I do some, particularly animation poses. Uh, I do some texturing. Cody does quite a lot of texturing, and yeah, there is also some guys from the Netherlands, Mart and Justin and Colin, who they also do quite a lot of work. And yeah, it's a split effort. It's sort of we sort of spread the workload out between us to make it kind of
Right. Yeah, it's
more
like a
efficient.
community effort of sorts. Yeah. And
Yeah, yeah.
Gigi or Gegi, I gotta learn how to pronounce that. I guess you're the oldest member of the team represented here, right?
Yeah. I was actually brought onto the team 2 years ago in 2014. I was also approached by Cash Money and asked if I would like to help out with the mod. So I decided I did because I actually seen the mod before and I really liked it. So I joined and I, yeah, I've since then, only after we started the 2.0 version of Jurassic Craft did I really get involved. Before that, I had only worked on a few features, so I wasn't very involved then.
So yeah, the mod's been like worked on for a while, and you've had this. So Gigi, like you've been working at the back end of the mod.
Yeah.
How is the how's that been? Like, I guess you and Toadmaster kind of taking over the lead development of the mod, kind of succeeding the former management.
Yeah. So, uh, we had originally Cash Money was the leader of the mod, but he did some things that you could say weren't very great. Um, it's a long story, so I don't think I have time to explain it here. So, um, I don't know what to say.
Basically, Cash had been getting on people's nerves, shall we say. Um, there were quite a few people who had grown very fed up with him. I personally tried to be sort of neutral, but there were a lot of people who, towards the end, really kind of disagreed with what he was doing with the mod. It was more about, to him the mod was more about, getting enough kind of popularity, and there were various kind of allegations as well that I maybe won't go into here against him, but in the end, we as a group,
So it was
we
kind of like a
voted him out.
takeover.
It was,
Huh.
yeah, pretty much. It's like a half democratic
Yeah.
coup, you know.
So did this like when did this coincide? Like Minecraft time or real time? Like when was this?
It was in the
Why?
summer
Mm,
of,
it
it
was
was something
in
last
May
year,
or
wasn't it?
June.
Yeah, it was sort of,
Yeah,
I'd say early June,
'cause
maybe.
I had
Okay.
exams by then.
And I officially became the
Yeah.
Huh.
leader about a week later.
And did you just kind of like immediately, hit the ground running, like in terms of development?
Well, we were actually a good way through the development on the first official release of 2.0. You know, the one with the
Hmm.
7 creatures from the movie, from the first movie. We were about 80% of the way through, or something like that. We were quite close to completing it when Cash
So
was voted
2.0
out.
was the kind of 1.8, post 1.8 rewrite you did, right?
Well, it was after well, there was the 2.0 pre-release for 1.8 and 1.9 versions that that had all the dinosaurs, like the Indominus, and the Carnotaurus, and all that. Uh, and in the end, well, it was sort of we decided it was, as I say, it's a very as Gagi touched upon it. It's a very sort of long and complicated history, but basically we decided to focus more on quality rather than quantity. We do have all, or pretty much just about every creature, uh, at least in the blueprints that we used to release. All the creatures that were in the pre-releases will come back eventually. It's just we decided to do them in
Yeah,
waves. In the first wave, there's 7 creatures. In this one, there's 3 and a bunch of other stuff. Then there's 7, and then 7, 7, 7, 7, and so on.
and the creatures might get remodeled at some point. Well, the old creatures, yeah.
Some of them, anyway. Some of them were pretty
For
good,
example,
but yeah,
we kept the
a lot of
Triceratops for the last updates, and now we kept the
yes,
Coelacanth and the Microraptor.
So you
yes.
have 7 dinosaurs in game now, or more than?
Well, in the one that we've released, the latest release is 2.0.5, and that has 7 dinosaurs in it. However, once we release 2.1.0, then there'll be 10 prehistoric creatures, as well as a goat, a new form of villager. This is the first time
Wow.
I've revealed it to anyone here, and yeah, some other, let's
So
just
it's
say,
gonna be
very
like
big
a
features.
almost like a.
Sort of like a mini update in a way. It's the focus on 2.1.0 isn't really the creatures. It's sort of more about all the crazy stuff that's going on sort of in the JurassiCraft world as a whole. I mean, we called it, what, the adventure update, wasn't it? That we called
Yeah,
it? Yeah. It's sort of,
we decided that before 1.11.
Okay, good. I was gonna ask. Yeah.
yeah. It did kind of come as a surprise
Well, it's a
when,
good thing you're updated to 111 now
yeah.
too. Uh,
Yeah.
speaking on that, what is it like to, because I think Jurassic Craft, especially now, it's been pretty good about updating to newer Minecraft versions. Is that hard? Like, how does that
Yeah.
work?
It depends. Like porting from 1.8 to 1.9 was a bit more effort than some of the other versions, but generally it was definitely easier than any port from 1.7 to 1.8. But some members of the team have been very pushy to update to newer versions, including me.
Yeah. There have, especially in the days before the three of us became the leaders, there were quite a few arguments about that. But
But now you've kind of like arguments like, oh, the mod won't be stable or ready if we update it. Like,
well, it's we're kind of we do update pretty regularly, but we do it sort of at a leisurely pace. We're not pushing ourselves overly. We're not pushing ourselves too much to update the time. Sort of, it's more of an we should maybe get around to that,
yeah,
rather than we have to update, we
right.
have to update, we have to update. It's
Yeah,
rather than that,
just being where the other mods are and keeping up with
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
yeah,
Hmm.
as is
Yeah,
convenient.
and going back to the content stuff, like you mentioned, you're doing this kind of, I guess, world building stuff, if you can say that, with adding, the villagers and the other kind of mobs. Are you kind of going to expand it into like a full, prehistoric kind of theme?
Well, it's more based around the universe of the Jurassic Park series. There are some aspects of it coming up in 2.1.0 and the future that it's almost like a hybrid between the novels and the movies, and to an extent the games. It's sort of a very it's sort of basically Jurassic Park, you know. It's it's based around it's based more than around prehistory in general. It's basically as I said, it's more about the Jurassic Park
Hmm.
series,
Like
if
fitting
that
into
makes
other
sense.
mods. Like I know do you intend for it to be like the standalone thing, or do you ever intend for it to be like, oh, you can use RF to power this for your own Jurassic Park?
Yes, we have in fact got a list of various mods that we want to kind of look into compatibility with. The main one is, of course, and should come as a surprise to no one, fossils and archaeology. We intend to have some compatibility between this, like carnivores from fossils and archaeology can eat JurassiCraft herbivores, and you sort of the herbivores can eat the
Yeah.
plants and that
Gigi,
sort of thing.
no, excuse me. Kurt has made a very long list of mods.
Yes,
We
yes.
can.
Also, harvestcraft. That's one thing that's compatible with at least based on the team builds. It will be it will be at least somewhat compatible with the 1.10.2 version of Pam's
So that you can
harvestcraft.
feed your
For
dinosaurs harvestcraft
Yeah,
food?
yeah,
Huh.
yes. There's yeah, I tried it out. You can, if you if you have a stack of blueberries and you feed it from Harvestcraft, and you feed it to, say, the mystery dinosaur that we haven't revealed yet for 2.1, then yeah,
Huh.
they will eat it.
So there's a lot of like that that stuff is cool too, but I see a lot of potential. I don't know in the mod for the kind of industrial or fitting into the tech thing. Like, oh,
Yeah,
because the machines are already really
yeah.
detailed. Like maybe integrate the recipes and have them let them be powered by other stuff. Have you ever thought about that?
Well, kind of. There was some talk about powering them. Uh, Although it's sort of that's one of the things we well, for the moment they don't run on power, but that might change in the future. We're not entirely decided on. We're not entirely 100% decided on that part. But yeah, we do have some plans to, for example, uh, let's say that you have Tinker's Construct and Jurassic Craft installed. You'll be able to use, say, steel ingots or copper ingots or whatever in place of iron ingots in some recipes, for example. That sort of compatibility, and also the fences, the electric fences that we've teased, will not only be. I suppose we could also allow them to be powered by, systems from other mods, power sources. That's also a distinct
Hmm.
possibility, I think.
Yeah, and I think there's some cool stuff that already the mod's gone through. Especially like 2.0. What do you think denotes that kind of version? Like, when will there be a JurassiCraft 3.0? Why is 2.0 2.0? Like, with regards to that.
2.0 was a complete rewrite of the previous 1.4 versions that were on 1.7.10, mainly because the port from 1.7 to 1.8 was a very big one. We didn't want to go through that process. And we also wanted to start it fresh. And we had some very big ideas, which in the end we didn't actually do.
And that might be stuff you're saving for later updates now.
Yeah.
Huh. And is it like I'm guessing you reused some assets from 1.7 going to 2.0, so it's kind of just back under the hood rewrite.
To an
Huh.
extent, yes. There are indeed some things that we reused from 1.7 version. A lot of the sprites, for example, if you download the 1.4.6 file for 1.7.10, you'll see, for example, that a lot of the skulls, for example, that are in 2.0 are also in the
Huh.
1.7.10 version.
Also, it might just be me, but I've noticed like it seems that in the 2.0 versions, especially the later 110 and 111 ones, that the AI and animation is, I think, kind of improved. I mean, it looks really good now.
Yeah, we actually, one of the people who were on the team proposed an idea of a different way of animating by creating different models for each different keyframe, which has worked really well because it means the coders don't have to do the animations anymore, and the modelers who definitely have an eye for that sort of stuff can do it.
Huh. So is it like interpolating at all? Like how storage efficient is that to do?
Yeah,
Like,
it interpolates it all between the different poses.
okay, so it's kind of like more like real animation instead of like Minecraft animation.
Yeah,
Yeah, because
yeah. It's sort of like stop motion. I mean, I have a slight background in stop motion. I used to make films with stop motion, but it's kind of like that. You have poses for each frame. Let's for example take the Tyrannosaurus biting animation. For example, you have the frame where it raises its head, frame where it's raising its head and opens its mouth, and sort of the frame where it then strikes, and then Gegi kind of codes them together, sort of stitches them together with the code to make it into one
hmm,
smooth movement.
I've never seen in any like other mod that kind of detail and when it comes to that because like usually just like oh we added a basic walk animation or cycle for this mob, but there is a lot of like stuff that makes the dinosaurs feel pretty intimidating or just pretty real in the mod, I think.
I think it's kind of taking inspiration from the Jurassic Park movies where everything is just feels real.
Hmm. Yeah, you're sparing no expense when it comes to effort.
Spare no expense.
That's pretty good.
Sorry.
No problem. Um, yeah, so that's pretty cool. I want to get into like I guess obviously you're developing the mod as a team, and I think some of the best when it comes to like stuff like this, standalone or just these kind of themed mods work best like that, like the Aether, which we also had on here, and JurassiCraft, and obviously fossils and archaeology, and there's tons of other examples. There's lots of these mods that I think work really well because there is a team behind them. What benefits do you think being a team and having that also community involvement and other people helping you, how does that help the mod?
It definitely helps a lot because on your own, like I wouldn't be able to make the sort of great models and animations that other people on this team do, but I don't think that the other people could quite do the coding unless they'd taken the time to learn that. But everyone has their own things that they enjoy doing. But also sometimes it has led to some problems, quite a lot of drama, especially involving cash.
To sum up what Gegi said, basically, basically because when we work as a team, you kind of use the sort of the strengths of each person to kind of further individual parts of the mod, and when you sort of look at the big picture, it's sort of, you know, it all kind of everyone does their part, you know. Everyone is good at something, and if there's something they aren't good at, like for example, I know basically nothing about coding. Gegi is pretty much a genius when it comes to that. But yeah, everyone kind of does sort of what they're good at and contributes to the mod in their own way. And when we're working as a big group, that's really effective.
Yeah, definitely. And I think it shows in the mod. We're running a little short on time here, so I guess I'm just for all of you. Any like last minute thoughts, advice to people also working who maybe want to make a mod with a team, or people who just want to get into modding in general, whether it be textures or models or animation or coding. Any advice for them?
Well, if you want to do something, just do it. I don't.
That's like how did you guys get involved with Minecraft, and specifically like what you do? Just really quickly.
Yeah, I think it's, again, like Cody says, it's sort of something that we enjoyed doing, and if it we're basically doing what feels right. We're not forcing ourselves to do anything. But I mean, as I said, it's basically just. I know it sounds incredibly cliched, but just follow your heart, pretty much. That's kind of it's sort of do what feels right. Do what works for your own mod, whether it be the modeling style or storyline if there is one, or whatever. Just
yeah, for sure. I think every super popular distinct mod for Minecraft has some feature that kind of has brought it to where it is.
Yes.
Yeah, that's for sure. Well, thank you all of you for coming on today. It's been awesome having you on for this first episode of season 3.
Can I add a little something?
Oh, sure.
If some JurassiCraft fans, excuse me, I'll do it again. If some JurassiCraft fans are watching this video, I'm preparing a little teaser that will come out soon after this comes out. So
we'll be showing off a very special feature.
Yeah. One of the
look forward to
main
that.
features.
Huh. Yeah, the future of the mod definitely looks pretty exciting. But yeah, thank you all for coming on again, and thank you all you guys for watching / listening. See you in the next one. Goodbye. Behind the Mod is made possible thanks to your continued support on Patreon. Thanks to Jonathan for supporting me on that, and if you want to be like him and get some exclusive benefits, then feel free to check me out there. The link is in the video description. Bye.